All right, so here we go. Welcome to another episode of History and Words with me, Robert William McCall. All right, so today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite Romans, namely Cicero. Cicero lived about 2 generations before Christ, as you can see there. And here he is depicted during the Catiline conspiracy by an Italian painter who lived during the 19th century by the name of Cesare Maccari. So Cesare Maccari depicted the Catiline conspiracy as a rhetorician who was in his latter years, as you can see here, berating or scolding or picking apart the Catiline conspiracy. And this is Catiline himself, when in fact in actuality, when this event took place in 63 BC, there was only 2 years between Catiline and Cicero here. So yeah, that was an artistic license, a little bit of artistic license that Cesare Maccari took when he designed or painted this particular canvas. And the actual building that he's based it on is kind of from his imagination, from Maccari's imagination. Now the current Roman Senate, if you go to the Roman Forum, you will see here it's called it's known today as the Curia Julia. Julia because it was built during the time of the dictatorship of Julius Caesar, and yeah, it's in quite good preservation actually, because it became a church after it was a senate. So when it stopped being a senate, when Rome lost her power, it turned into a church. And you can still see the masonry just below the windows there, where this sort of porch, colonnaded porch, was attached. And of course that's unfortunately no longer there, but you get an idea from this artist's depiction of what it would have looked like at the time. So this is what Cicero looks like, and you can see that Maccari has painted him in that way. This bust that you can see is in the Capitoline Museum. Now Cicero, his name is based on the Latin word for chickpeas, cicere, and in modern Italian it's cici, and in lots of other European languages you have cognates of that word. For example, Kichererbsen in German. Now often when we think of Cicero in English, we think of him as being a very well-spoken person. Now there's a beautiful Latin word that you can use to describe somebody who's well-spoken. You can call them eloquent or articulate, right? Both adjectives. You can also use articulate, to articulate something, to say something, to explain something carefully. Or if you want to get really crazy, you can say that something was Ciceronian. Okay, so if somebody had been able to speak particularly successfully, then you can call them Ciceronian. There's the phonemic transcription. You can see that the stress is on the 3rd syllable, so it's Ciceronian. Okay, and that's quite an academic word, but it will make your writing seem fantastic. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back for the next episode of History and Words.